Howdy folks, I'm Gluttonous Snow Goose, greedily gobbling great green grapes.
I'm Amber.
And here are more great green grapes for us to gobble down greedily, but it turns out that they were Reddit stories and now they're stuck in our craw. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a jerk for exposing my cousin's secret affair at my family dinner because she tried to shame me first? This happened last weekend, and the family group chat is still on fire. I'm a 28-year-old female and was at a big family dinner. One of my cousins, a 31-year-old female, we'll call her Anna, has always acted superior to me because she's married and has the perfect life. At dinner, Anna decided to take a jab at me in front of everyone, saying, maybe if you weren't so focused on your career, you would finally find a man. It's not normal to be almost 30 and still be single. Everyone just kind of laughed awkwardly, and I just snapped. I said, well, maybe I don't have time to juggle my husband and a secret boyfriend like you do. Silence, literal pin drop silence. For some context, I found out a few months ago through a mutual friend that Anna has been cheating on her husband with some guy from her gym. I never said anything because I figured that it was out of my business, until she made it my business by humiliating me at the table. Anna started crying. Her husband left dinner early, and now half my family says that I ruined her marriage and it was cruel to say it publicly. My argument is that if she didn't want her dirty laundry aired out, maybe she shouldn't have come at me first. So am I the jerk for exposing my cousin's affair at dinner after she insulted me? Alright folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. Well, I think it would have been better if Opie had reached out sooner so that the husband was able to know. I don't think it's fair for the cousin to get away with cheating, and the way she was treating Opie was not cool at all. So I understand why Opie would want to clap back.
So I have a real problem with the way OP approached this situation. I think that they were fine with revealing the information, but this shouldn't have come at a family dinner. It sounds like there was this resentment that was building for them for a little while, and they really should have come forward and told the husband when they found out, I feel like, as opposed to like using it as a like petty way to win a argument or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that is definitely a fair take. I think the information needed to come out. I don't think she handled it in the best way, because again, I think letting him know might have been on his own, because that's my biggest issue with it all, is that he was there too, it sounds like, and was learning this information the same time as everyone else.
Yeah, who wants to learn that at a family dinner, right? And like that's not a good way of approaching that. And I know that OP was upset, but if they ever thought that they were going to pull this out, then they should have pulled it out in an appropriate time, right? And I mean, I don't think that the family is right to saying that, oh, OP was cruel necessarily, or that they ruined her marriage, right?
Because she ruined her own marriage.
Yeah, OP didn't ruin their marriage. Yeah, like Amber said, she ruined her own marriage, and maybe cruelty. I don't really feel like it was particularly cruel, but it was kind of in poor taste. Again, like she could have kept her tongue, held her tongue, and then after dinner approached the husband afterwards and been like, hey, by the way, she's cheating on you. I don't know. Maybe there wasn't a good opportunity before this dinner for OP to tell them, but...
Well, like, if OP had said that, I might be, but like, OP's like, I just didn't feel like it was my business. And that's the one thing, that's the thing that bothers me, is that it was like, this was more petty than like, I'm actually bothered by this.
Yeah, it just seems like they were using it as ammo as opposed to actually concern about the husband, because they didn't really care about the repercussions for that. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Centrifuge. I guess everyone's going in the centrifuge today.
I mean, I think that's very harsh for OP. I could see the wheel saying like everyone's in the wrong, but like I don't think that's centrifuge territory.
And B-Dud 2043 says, not the jerk, your cousin shouldn't be throwing stones from a glass house. Also, the family members saying that you ruined her marriage aren't prepared for the response that you can give of, wait for it, her marriage wouldn't be ruined if she wasn't cheating in the first place, and letting that be public. She definitely messed around and found out. And Trailhound says, if it can be destroyed by the truth, then it deserves to be. And Can't Get This Right 22 says, not the jerk, cousin literally messed around and found out. Colossus96 says, cousin's husband should get himself tested. After all, he doesn't know who or how many she's cheated on him with. And WexGuy79 says, yep, lol. And Health number 4265 says, not a jerk. And oh, by the way, might never have happened if the family that are attacking you had immediately stepped in and called her out when she decided to launch the first missile. Tell them to pound sand. Full Lion 4225 says exactly this. They didn't defend you, but they are defending her. I mean, those are actually really good points.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I the Jerk for Exposing My Dad's Affair at My Brother's Birthday Dinner? I accidentally found out that my dad has been cheating on my mom after seeing flirty messages pop up on his work laptop. It seems like he's been lying about business trips and taking his receptionist out on dates, while acting like the perfect husband and dad at home. At my brother's birthday dinner, I finally snapped. My dad was trying to be father of the year and lying to all of us, saying how much he loved us and he would always take care of us, blah, blah, blah. He said something like he would never lie to us, which is when I told him about lying about his trips and his mistress. He went bright red and the table went silent. He tried to deny it, but I read out some of his messages. My mom left without saying a word, and my brother started crying, and my dad started screaming at me for embarrassing him. Now my family is a mess. I spoke with my cousin, and she thought that I did the right thing, but my grandmother thinks that I did it at the wrong time. I agree that the timing was bad, but I couldn't hold it in any longer. Am I the jerk for exposing his affair? All right, folks, what do you think?
I mean, I'm going to go with the grandma on this. I think the timing was very poor, and using someone else's special event to reveal an affair is not the best course of action.
Well, and now think about what birthdays are going to mean to the brother, right? Because like his birthday is going to be the day that his parents broke up, right? Like that's not good, right?
No,
That's bad
not.
baggage to have around a day that's supposed to be a happy event. And I think that OP, like this is very similar to that last story. Very bad timing, right?
Yeah, I mean, this one I feel is like a little worse that it was on a particular person's birthday, because it's not like the other one was like a generic family event. And the brother was in no way involved in this, and so I feel like tying his birthday to the dissolution of the parents' marriage is a really not cool thing to do.
Yeah.
But certainly very, very bad timing. And the thing too is like it seems like OP had this kind of planned out also, because she had like the text on hand.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, it makes me wonder how much of this was actually premeditated as opposed to just spontaneous, oh, I'm mad, right?
right. Because like I understand saying things spontaneously. And again, like I think it was the wrong time, but like whipping out the messages and everything, like could she have just not held off on a confrontation until after dinner or something?
Or have told their mother like ahead of time.
Yeah. And again, the wronged party is now just like learning this when everyone else is. And so.
Yeah, I feel like OP should have taken those messages directly to their mother, and then that way their mother could have decided how to handle everything, right? And this is just a really bad approach to doing this. And I think that OP, I understand their feelings here. I understand where they're coming from and their anger and frustration at their father, who's, lying and cheating. But I think that they've really harmed a lot of other people in the way that they approach this. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Mick Burgers again says, it's good that the truth came out, but that was supposed to be your brother's special night and you ruined it. Think about the kinds of memories that will be associated with his birthday from now on. And Big Al 97 says, their dad ruined it by cheating. Don't blame OP for their dad's cheating. I mean, I'm not blaming OP, right?
Right. Well, the thing is, like, the dad is the one who committed the big offense, right? But I do think OP could have chosen better timing. Like, she is not responsible for the affair, and the information should have come out. But, as the person with that information, she could have chosen better timing.
Yeah. And No Peace 5494 says, Dad definitely created the situation, but every single birthday going forward will be tainted with the association of this bomb going off. The birthday boy was going to be devastated when the news came out, but it did not have to be associated with a day that was meant to be celebrating him. And Defiant Date 7806 says, no one blamed the kid for the dad's cheating, but there's a time and place for everything. This was not the time or the place. You can get off your high horse now. And Sailor Chibi says, you're the jerk. You picked a terrible time to out him. You ruined your brother's birthday and you embarrassed your mom by letting her find out in front of everyone. You should have privately told your mom as soon as you found out. And Extended Spike Protein says, you're the jerk for doing this at your brother's birthday. There's a time and place, and this was neither. The evening was supposed to be about your brother. Instead, you made it about your anger at your dad. You're the jerk. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a jerk for cutting off my brother after he told my boyfriend that it's okay to cheat on me? I'm a 23-year-old female and I recently had a falling out with my brother, a 29-year-old male, after finding out something awful he said about me. Apparently, he told my boyfriend, a 24-year-old male, that it's totally fine to cheat on me as long as he comes back and loves me. I was completely shocked and disgusted when I found out. My brother and fiance stayed out for drinks while I took my parents home in a taxi. That night, they were both drinking. He also told my fiance that I'm lazy because I'm between jobs at the moment and I should be losing weight in the gym. He always has the superiority complex and he talks down to me like I am a little immature girl, even though he still lives at home. Although with his own business, and I moved out at 18 and got a degree and have lived and worked 3 hours away since. I have put up with his insults and teasing as a big brother for years, but this crossed a line. When I told my parents what was said that night, out of desperation of comfort, it seems that he is denying it and mad that my fiance told me. It seems now that my parents are furious at my fiance for telling me, which I think was the right thing to do, and wants me to forgive and forget it all because I make him feel awkward when I go to visit. I feel completely alone in this, as it feels though somehow all this has turned around on me, and now my fiance and I are the bad people. So, am I the jerk for refusing to tolerate my brother's bad behavior and cutting him off? Edit, regarding the comments about my fiance, I encouraged my fiance to stay out with my brother that night because they haven't spent much time together, and I thought that it would be good for them. Alright folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. It seems like OP's brother has not been good to OP for a very long time. And I can understand why OP does not want to be in contact with someone who says such horrible things. Like, none of those comments were okay.
They really weren't, right? Like, the way these were just a matter-of-factly bad comments, right?
Like, this wasn't normal sibling teasing, which, you know, sometimes siblings will have banter where they both kind of egg each other on, but they're both there, you know, having a mutual, you know, back and forth and can defend each other, saying these kind of things behind OP's back. And they're not like, oh, you know, remember that time when you were like 3 and you did blah, 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 you know, it's like, oh yeah, she's lazy and you can cheat on her.
Yeah. He's not being a good brother, right? And again, like, if he's embarrassed about what he said, then he deserves to be embarrassed about it, right? Like, no one was twisting his arm to say these kinds of things, right? And OP's fiance was in the right to reveal this information to her because she deserves to know what their brother is saying about them behind their back. So I don't blame OP at all. I think they're in the right here, and I think that their brother deserves to be cut off. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And JRM 1102 says, not the jerk, your brother is toxic. Edit, and yes, the parents are jerks too. And Knucklehead I Am says, parents aren't any better, not the jerk. And Miller Jess says, exactly. The fact that they are upset at your fiance for telling the truth, something that your brother said was so awful, says a lot about them. You are definitely not the jerk. And Vegetable Cod 2340 says this, and the fact that your parents are okay with what he said and are angry at the fiance is your problem. OP, your parents are also the issue. It's maybe time to go low contact with them because, let's be honest, they allow your brother to treat you that way. And Tall Confection 960 says, none of them need to be at your wedding. And Horror Ladder 9340 says, nope, your family are all the jerks though, which is terrible for you. I am happy for you that you found a fiance who is honest with you. And Unable Elephant 610 says, not the jerk, your brother is a piece of garbage. I can't believe he said that about his own sister. your parents are unhinged as well if they're mad at your fiance for this. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What might you call excellence in our four-footed friends?
Excellence in our four-footed friends? I would call them eggs that have hatched out 4 limbs, so they're probably like dinosaur excellence.
Pawsomeness.
Pawsomeness?
Pawsomeness.
That makes sense.
And it's International Day of Awesomeness.
Oh.
And it's also Mario Day.
Oh. So go find yourself an awesome Mario to hop onto so that they can be possum. I don't know. Something like that. And I have Mega Mint. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Manic Monday, folks. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on revealing secret affairs.
Do not reveal secret affairs on other people's special days.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a fair moral. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.